Last time me and you were in a room together, you know what happened, right? And I wanted things to stay that way. But I hit my breaking point, okay? And I didn't want to leave. Okay, the last time that we were together does not matter anymore because right after that, you left without any explanation. The only reason you're here today is that I'm not heartless. You can say goodbye to Junior. This is the last time you're going to see him. Now, Miranda, you're not going to forbid me from seeing my son, okay? I left under the impression that eventually you were going to reach out to me and we were going to talk about things. I wanted to give you space. I needed space. After everything that happened, I think we both did we not? If you're going to try to spin it and say that you needed space, the appropriate way to go about that is by telling your wife, hey, I need space. You don't just up and leave when I rely on you for a lot of things because you told me it was safe to rely on you for money and all of that. Like, I trusted you and you left me in junior high and dry. You want to talk about me not loving you or something, but how does a man leave his family to survive like that? You weren't gonna, if I came to you and I was like, yo, I think you and me need some space after everything that happened. You weren't gonna let that fly. You weren't gonna say, okay, yeah, go do you for a bit. You wouldn't have let that happen. So I knew that the only way that, I'm sorry, Joey, I'm not buying it. You're changing your tune. I'm pretty sure your reasons for leaving change every day. I'm not changing my tune. That was one of the reasons why I left. I did need space, and I knew I couldn't come to you and say that. But at the same time, there were a plethora of other reasons why I left. Like, you did make the paternity test stuff into a whole big thing, okay? And people were coming after me, okay? The show that I built from the ground up, people were getting mad at me because of all this paternity test stuff. No one was coming at you. And you never, not once, you never sat down and broke that fourth wall and told everyone, hey, you know, I take some responsibility for this paternity test crap. None of that paternity test situation was my responsibility. I had nothing to take responsibility for. And towards the end, the test that you got mad at me most for was the one that figured everything out. I finally got down to the bottom of it. If I had listened to you, you would still have Chris, your non-blood son. Regardless of the outcome, regardless of whether or not Melissa was doing this or that, you did put a lot of pressure on me. And while you were putting pressure on me, everyone else, everyone that watches this thing was putting pressure on me too. And you never once came to my aid. You never once comforted me. You never spoke to me. You just constantly told me, go get another one. Go do this. Go do that. And then when I had my son, who I thought was my son at the time, you made that into a whole big thing when that wasn't my fault that she left me with him. But you blamed me again. You always blame me for things, always. And I never get forgiven. I'm just the guy that everyone wants you to leave. You never forgive me for nothing. I'm sorry, Joey. There are some things that are just unforgivable. You say that, but like everything that we've been through, all that pregnancy stuff, everything, you can't ever just look at that. You can't look at our marriage as a whole. Don't frame it like I never forgive you. And don't frame it that I blame you for everything when there have been things that I have forgiven you for time and time again. I think that eventually the camel's back breaks, Joey. I think that I was very impulsive. And I think that like maybe I should have talked to you about it instead of just leaving. Joey, I think we're long past apologies and recovering from anything. The second that you abandoned me and Junior, that was it. I would be a fool to forgive you. I'm sorry. It's done. I'm letting you see Junior one last time and that's it. Alright, well, I'm saying this in a civil manner. I'm not saying it angry. I'm not yelling at you. I did not take into consideration that when I left you and when I left Junior, you know, I thought, okay, she's going to raise Junior by herself. She'll have her help with the family, this and that. Fine. I didn't take into consideration that you were going to be friends with my mom and have Sunday dinners with her or some shit. I didn't take into consideration that you were gonna start dating immediately and then have men around my son. Bro, I may have left under my terms and I may have messed up in that respect, but you're not gonna replace me as a father, okay? I'd rather him be fatherless than have a new one. You gave up your right to dictate anything when you walked out that door. You no longer have a say. You left. That's it. You lost all your rights in my book. No, Miranda. Nah. You, your fans, everyone. No one has a right to tell me when I've lost my rights to my son. Okay? No one can tell me when I can't see my kid anymore. Okay, I walk out on him. No one, you're not a judge. Your fans aren't a judge. No one's gonna tell me when I can't see my son, and I want to see him again. Okay, I wanna. If you're gonna have men around him, then I gotta be around him. I gave you your chance to say what you needed to say. I'm giving you a chance to say goodbye to Junior, but I think it's time now that you leave, because I'm not doing this. Miranda, you're the mother of my son. We have our history. You'll always have a place in my heart in that way. And I'm not looking to make your life a living hell. As a matter of fact, when I left you, it was the complete opposite. And I know it was messed up, but I left you to make your life a little bit easier. But I'm telling you now, if you're gonna have men around my kid, and you're gonna be spiteful and try to twist things to my family and make me out to be the bad guy, and you're gonna do all of that, there's an easy way that we could do it with me seeing my son, and there's a hard way. And that's all I'm saying.